I want to recommend the show American Gigolo to people. It's really good,
What the
and it
fuck?
features.
Look at this.
The title is
This is
something, but
I
it's
see
great.
boobs.
Look at this. This is from Marcos Rios. Guess which character I'm pointing at now. So this is Blood Ruth. This is Yairo,
Oh god.
Michael Ronashi, and Lillian. Ingrid Valdez. Do you see the similarities?
Oh my
Unfortunate.
god.
We haven't decided which guy this is, but we're kind of thinking it's probably Norfolk guy.
Yeah, probably Norfolk guy because he looks vaguely based on like Thor and stuff like that. So
Yes. So
What is
shout out
last
to
phase?
this is Marcos Rios' comic book, which Eric July never plugged.
Marcos Rios is the concept designer for Ripverse.
Yes,
Oh.
he's the Jack Kirby to Eric July's Stan Lee.
Jesus.
So imagine Ripverse being basically you copied your classmates' homework badly.
Yes,
Uh,
it's like just grab the same characters, put them in a modern context.
If you ain't
Yeah.
Being
copying
in the
someone
sword and
else's
sorcery.
work,
oh my
then,
God!
Yes.
It's
then you're not a
basically
true believer. You're a whole ass cracker.
I just realized it's basically a multiverse. These are the multiverse. variants.
Multiversal variant. Yes.
Oh no, Eric! I'm so sorry.
And you can tell it's recycled. Like this is literally Iroh. Blood Ruth here in the red. Again, Michael Ronashi, Lillian, Ingrid Valdez.
Amazing.
Shout out to George Peter Gutsis for finding this out. Suck on that, Ripa goalposts.
Wasn't it Eric DeBunks who found this?
Eric DeBunks found out about Michael. What's his name? Marcos
Yeah.
Rios being an artist, like having his own art station and all that. And I remember we were in an after stream digging further into Marcos Rios' work
There's fascinating
and having the
stuff
shock of our lives. Yeah.
Yeah. It was chilling. I think it's might be like the biggest untold story there is. The Legend of Marcos Rios.
And to be fair, he draws well. He should have been. In the beginning, I didn't like the idea, but I'm with Riley on this one. He should have been drawing most of the Rippaverse stuff.
I
It
think
is
he
what it
should have.
is.
I think he should have just created his own story and maybe hire a real writer instead of July or.
Speaking of real writers, let's see what Jesker is up to.
LG tried to ask me. He tried to trap me. He tried to say, so the money TJ makes, how much of that is going to you? I told him that I didn't want any. So I hated to disappoint LG, but it's the truth.
I don't
Well,
want to
LG
disclose,
could be
honestly.
the DJ in this story. There's a space for him. He's in the adult entertainment industry, and there's clearly a space for that in Chapter 8.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, LG is.
All I can say is I'm well off in real life, as you can see. Like as a graphics designer, I get jobs left and right here and there. I'm going around. I'm doing my own business. I have multiple professions, right? People don't see me when I'm streaming. I'm actually either working or drawing or doing something for somebody else. That's kind of why I don't want to be so ever present online, because I don't want people to see what I don't want my YouTube shenanigans to be linked with my job.
Oh,
so
smart.
Yeah, this is like for a guy who cares so much about income and all that. I don't really give a fuck. I'm not going to tell him anything. He doesn't need to know. I'll just say this much, all right? And I already told this to Larry Higgins and Max DeVille and them. I used to be part of a duo.
Hmm.
The other guy was a writer, a comic
You were
book
the
writer, and I was the
you weren't
artist.
you weren't a Soska brother.
In a way, we'll put it that
Okay.
way. Yeah. We were a Saska brotherhood. Unfortunately, the writer half passed away.
Oh,
I stopped
sorry to
giving
hear
a
that.
fuck about comic books.
Yeah.
Then I found Tony and them, and
Yeah.
I decided to step up a little bit after I saw Finbar stepping up, and the
Yeah.
rest is history. But
So,
my association with Tony is because I wanted to pay it forward. We were trying to do an indie comic ourselves,
so if the
and I
guy
wanted
passed
to,
away, I would imagine he would stop giving a fuck about comic books.
yeah.
I mean, I can tell you right now, if I pass away, I am not going to give a fuck about Eric July or what he's doing. I can guarantee you, after I pass away, I am not going to give a
Well,
fuck.
you should. Who you think's going to help you with the Hell Monkeys once you're down there?
Oh shit! I didn't consider the Hell Monkey factor. Wait a minute, you're assuming I'm going to burn in hell?
So yeah, I'm just
So
doing all of this to support indie comics as much as I can.
it, Jessica, it just seems so much easier to get to hell. I don't want to get your hopes up. It's like when you go out for like an exclusive college. Like I don't want to get your hopes up. So just go to a community hell instead.
Community hell.
JUCO, JUCO hell.
But
Your hell
yeah,
will be based on a 3D asset model.
Yes, 3D asset hell. That's what the hell will look like.
You walk up to the devil. You had one job, and you outsourced it to Brazilians. And he says, "Yeah, like my friend Eric." I was like, "Oh, well, this explains everything."
yeah. Oh, it's all coming together. It's all starting to make sense.
But he's a man of God, so he's clearly not here.
Listen, if I die, and then I find out that Eric July made it into heaven, but I didn't, I'm gonna start questioning a lot of shit.
You know what? So when I watched that video, the 2-minute video that Eric did after the lawsuit, where he kept trying to emphasize how he's a Christian man and he's basically the same as Barry Gilfin, it felt so patronizing. It's like he wanted to say, "I'm a Christian too, dumbasses." Like that's what it felt like he was saying, and I was like, "Ugh."
Check this out.
This feels it feels like you're using this as another opportunity to try to market yourself to people instead of giving us an update on what actually happened.
Look at the context of this drawing, and tell me where they got the idea of Yaira's outfit. So my man over here, Marcos, came up with this sketch just to show them working out.
Yeah.
And then they said, okay, let's make Yaira appear in the same outfit where she was working
no.
out in.
Just the laziest justification I've ever heard.
There you
Oh
go.
my God. Eric looked at this and was like,
Yeah,
no,
let's use this
keep it
outfit.
like, keep that, yeah. Creativity where?
Oh man, it's sad though, but that's probably what really happened.
Oh,
For the record, I despise this kind of art style. I don't know about you guys. Like this deviant art type of... We don't know whether it's manga or Western.
Oh.
It kind of feels like it's fence sitting.
Yeah. It's like something a 13-year-old would come up with on deviant art.
But I think this is what we get when we have a bunch of American kids who basically grew. Well, he's not American, but a bunch of kids who grew up loving anime, but in places where it's not traditional to make anime. So you have a sort of a hybrid.
Yeah. But here's the thing, like either commit to being anime or being Western.
Right.
Right. That's what I
They-
mean.
Get off
It's
the
like
pot.
Listen, and yeah, we're looking at what we were looking at is some uncanny valley
yeah, it's
where
fence sitting.
where
They
it's like
can't
Western.
decide which side they
It's
want
like
to
they're
be on.
Western drawn, like their proportions, everything is Western style, but their faces are still jagged, just like
Was
you would see in
Legend
an
of
anime.
Korra? Was Legend of Korra what you wanted?
Why not? Sure.
Okay. Because Legend of Korra seems like a mix of the two styles.
I mean, it
Like
does to a certain extent.
it doesn't look
but
enough like anime for me to comfortably call it anime.
I think it leans towards the anime side, though.
Yeah.
Teen
Like,
I
Titans,
wonder-
the old one, did it well.
Yeah,
Mm.
Where it's like the Bruce Timm animation style, but with hints of anime.
yeah. And one reason why is because that show is also very stylistic.
I think what's happening is because I know that Legend of Korra and Avatar are American things. I think I'm coming in with a weird bias against it. Maybe it does look like an anime, but I think the privileged information of knowing it's American makes me see it differently.
Well, I think one of the things is that as globalization continues, we're going to start seeing a blend of a lot of different things.
Woke,
I mean, not just,
woke.
but I mean,
If you see Liam Gray's work, for example, that's manga. That's literal manga. But I mean, the art style. But you can't get away with calling it manga because it's still a Western comic. Therein lies the
TJ, what
I
do you
think
draw
the origin.
on? Speaking of Liam Gray, what do you draw on? Because Liam Gray is using a mouse. It seems.
You know what's funny?
It seems he.
I also use a mouse.
Oh no! Oh no! Your
I
poor
tried
hands.
using the pad. It didn't work. The problem is I've been using Photoshop and Illustrator from right when right when they are released.
Yeah.
And back in those days, you only had the mouse. But it's fine. At least I'm sketching on the paper, and then doing the rest with the
Okay.
digital link. So it's fine. So there's still an organic feel to it. That's why.
Okay. Good.
At least you can see
the
there's still a
Dan Fan
human
story
element.
keeps coming
even
back
if
to me.
it's- Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see what I mean by the uncanny valley between manga and
Oh.
Western? This is
Oh,
Alita.
that-
Yeah.
supposedly.
So Marcos Rios attached himself to one of my favorite characters of all time. Like right above my computer is a expensive. I consider it expensive. It was $75. Maybe that's not
How wonky
expensive
the
for like
face
a
is.
figure.
that's not anime
it's
or
okay.
Western. That's just ugly.
Yes, that's what I mean. Oh God!
It's-
If you've seen, if you want to see the rabbit hole, just look up Brazilian comic books. They have a Brazilian Mortal Kombat comic book. They also have a Brazilian Mega Man. It's wonderful content. You should
Are
watch
these the
that.
same Brazilians working on ISOM?
It looks like ISOM art. I'm not kidding you. You
Oh,
have to check
no.
it out. It's crazy.
Oh man, it's Brazil's the ones to blame. Oh shit.
Oh,
There is a
Isom-
Brazilian element to it. That's
Isom
the funny part
unwittingly
about
is-
ISOM.
He's unwittingly
It's so
part
Brazilian.
of a multiverse.
It's crazy.
Did you say Brazilian multiverse?
Eric didn't know it, but when Rippaverse was created, it was inducted into a multiverse that already exists, the Brazilian multiverse.
Shit.
A real quick, serious question about that. Do you think when he went to find Cliff Richards or Gail Aitayib or however the hell you say his name, I'm assuming he found them through this Glasshouse graphic. Do you think they told him, yes, these two will be the only ones working on your book? And he was like, yeah, that's awesome. These are industry veterans. I'm so happy. And then they're like, yeah, but that's just what we're going to tell him because he'll believe whatever the hell we tell him. and we're going to sub
Yeah.
this shit out. And no, of course he's not going to notice that every single iteration of ISOM on his website looks completely fucking different. And then his book, like ISOM, appears as like 5 or 6 different people. Of course he's not going to see that shit.
I think it was a don't ask, don't tell situation.
Does he
Michael is saying Gabe in particular was brought to him by EVS. So just Gabe.
But so
I don't think Eric
drew
knew
that stuff. Because whenever he did mention the Glass House graphics in his stream, he was very, very short about it. He was like, "Oh, they're just an agency, you know, they're a broker." Yeah, but you can go to their site and you can see that they can do all this art. You can see that they have on their site, we did the Ripperverse stuff. And then you can see how ISOM looks like 6 or 7 different people, and just your cover art is different completely from one to the next. So are you trying to convince me, a rational thinking person, that the same person drew all this shit? No.
Did you realize
I
something
like
weird about
I like to
that
find
stream?
the person that drew this shit, and I'd like to beat the shit out of them.
Tell me this isn't Michael Copper and this isn't Lilian Ronashi.
Oh Lord.
So the weird thing about
called
that
Rose
stream
and
you were
Vince.
just referencing, he didn't actually reference the art at all. He just kept mentioning how they weren't cheap. Like he only sees things in terms of money. Like he didn't reference the quality of the art at all. I guess because it's indefensible, but also he just doesn't care because he only cares about money.
It's amazing how these people they judge quality by money or financial success. Yeah. And there's a lot of people out there. How many clicks and
views you get? You know what? I don't even think it has anything to do with money. I don't even think they're paying attention to money. They're just thinking of views and clicks. I'd go that far because that's all they ever talk about.
They do seem to care a lot about money. Like they bring it up before. Like I was
before
talking
the
to
views,
them,
right? Like because views equals money.
So I was talking to them, and maybe it's just because they were responding to Tony, but they brought up money, and they kept trying to explain how much money. Well, LG kept trying to explain how much money he was making, and I don't know if it's insecurity over the homelessness thing or it's just part of the back and forth. But I kept telling him, I was like, first of all, you're telling a bunch of internet people about all the money you make, how you make it. I was like, no, you don't have to tell us any of this.
Yeah, we don't give a fuck.
We don't
I'm not
give a
asking you
fuck.
for a loan. I mean, what do I care?
Right. Right.
Yeah, you don't see Chris Bacon, for example, bragging about anything. Like, why should you brag? This isn't the place to flash money around. Like, like Tony only does it for for memes. He just to piss those people off. It's like he's reacting to them.
Yeah, it was interesting to learn that LG works 4 days a week, 7 hours a day. But he makes enough money, and I think 4 days a week is I like that ratio.
Well, I'll tell you this from personal experience from my earlier career. If you work in a warehouse, you can get 3-day shifts or 4-day shifts. So, baby, if you reach out to Eric, he can get you on the rotation, and you can work your hands and live your best life.
You know what? He should go to the warehouse. Why not? If they'll allow him.
I honestly think that would be great. He'd get to be closer to Eric.
Brian,
do we really want that to happen, though?
Look at that.
I want LG to find happiness, and this is the only way I know to give it to him.
And he'll find it in Eric's hairy embrace.
Well, you could have stopped that sentence that he'll find it in
Eric. What the fuck is this?
I swear I'm not trying to get you demonetized, but look.
Oh, what the fuck? I can't show this.
What is this body?
Oh my goodness.
His body type. It's funny how this body type It's funny how this body type, seeped over to the actual comic book.
Is
Oh
this
my
That
concept
bod.
art,
goodness.
or where is this from?
This is Marcos Rios, the artist of Eric
Oh,
July, the designer of these characters.
oh, okay.
Oh my god.
See, this is his signature. This is on ArtStation. I wish I could share the link, but I just typed it on the chat anyway. Just use Google to find it.
I was
It's easy. Marcos Rios, ArtStation.
I was thinking they're lucky no like Chinese people who make like fake shirts gets a hold of this website because there'll be so much more Rippaverse merch out there with genuine Rippaverse art just available on T-shirts and stuff.
If you're gonna try and go for a realistic art style, you have to understand the anatomy of the human body. And clearly from what we just saw, these people don't.
That's the problem. If the character designs are bland, you can bring the greatest writer on earth. He can't do anything with them. You can bring the greatest artist on earth, and they can't do anything with it.
I'd be interested to be like, so LG or Sturgis, let me ask you something. Vincent Van Gogh, what do you think about that guy? Is he a great artist? Oh yeah. His stuff is the best. It's all over the place. It's in the Met. It's on all these places. Are you aware of how much money Vincent Van Gogh made during his life selling his fucking art? Oh, he must have made millions. No, he sold one fucking painting. He must have been what? It's like, yeah, dude. Quality does not, just because of how much people spend on it, does not necessarily make it good, or
Yep.
vice versa.
Yeah, and I tried to get that through with LG by relating it to music, and he seemed to understand it for a second, but then when it got back to Eric July, he seemed to have forgotten the whole.
You almost reached
concept.
him. For a second, you almost reached him.
Well, what example did you give him with music?
I told him that he shouldn't compare like subscriber numbers and stuff like that because I'm into like indie artists and stuff like that, and just because they have lower numbers doesn't mean their singing is worse than like Britney Spears or something like that.
Okay, now I know I can't.
I
show this
understand
on
that,
YouTube.
but then when we got to Eric July, he went back to
This
his.
is, this
his
is
number
typical
shit.
deviant art thing. Like they love drawing freckles on characters.
What's wrong with her nose?
That too, yeah. Overemphasis on the. This is what I'm saying. This is why this weird thing between manga and Western isn't
Oh,
working.
this is nasty.
The pose, like, why is she Spider-Man all of a sudden?
I mean,
What's
listen,
going on here?
I don't have an erection, but if I did, like,
What's the
this would kill it.
justification
This would
for her
kill it.
to split her legs like this while mid-air?
That's a good point.
Oh,
And why does she have lightning bolts?
She needs to go see a dermatologist. Since she looks
Right?
all.
oh my God! This is such an erection
we have
killer.
the Rob Liefeld disease. The feet aren't
Oh.
all right.
And her underwear are all crooked.
I mean, okay, it's fine. It's fine that he doesn't know how to draw properly because he's just the designer. But still, you can see the errors seeping over.
He was
from
taking a big
the
swing
concept.
with this one.
I think here's the thing. Another element of design that these people forget to do is make a turnaround. Where are the turnarounds from Marcos Rios? That's what I want to do. He probably didn't even make a turnaround. Do you guys know what I mean by a turnaround?
Hey, I have a question.
You draw the
What's
character.
a turnaround?
Okay, you draw the character standing still from
Mhm.
the front, and then from the side, and then from behind,
Oh.
right next to each other.
So I
That's a
see that
turnaround.
sometimes. I see that sometimes when it comes to like concept art of
Yes,
characters.
you need
Yeah, okay.
that turnaround has to be with you forever.
That makes sense.
If you're going to, for anybody who wants to draw a character, that character turnaround has to be with you forever. So that you keep looking at it as you're drawing, so that you know how you can translate the character from from that to the page.
I
Otherwise,
have a
you'll
serious,
have the same problem with ISOM, where his change always, his face always changes.
But
is
let
her
me ask
right
you
hand
something. As an
positioned
artist, how
correctly?
hard is it to be consistent with particular features like facial features? How hard is that to replicate from panel to panel?
If you had a turnaround, it would be easy. Wait, I'll show you an example. Hold on, I'll look for it. Just give me a while. You guys keep talking while I look up a good example of a character turnaround.
You can find them on Bulbapedia if you look up certain Pokemon characters.
See, this is what I mean about them just ignoring basic shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's why I kept telling LG and Renowned Zero, who I hate that I can't just call Sturgis anymore. Uh,
So did you have to keep saying renowned Zero, or how did you refer to him? Just
I
Zero,
kept
or
calling
what?
it Renowned Zero because I'm very respectful. So.
Oh, like he doesn't have a name,
Yeah,
like
you
you
couldn't
can't just
get
call
away
him
with
Bob
calling
or
him
something.
Sturgis. Yeah.
Oh right, yeah. No, it's Renowned Zero. Even LG was calling him Renowned Zero, and
Oh,
they're good friends. So
well, those poor guys. Maybe I'll send them a DM with Eric's phone number, and they can reach out to him.
I think that might be the greatest Christmas gift they've ever received.
You're a saint, Chris.
And if they're really nice, I'll give them his home address. It's like, okay, here's the deal, guys. Sturgis, if you stop making these stupid fucking videos, I will send you Eric's phone number and home address. But you gotta stop.
So this is Cogliostro from Spawn, the HBO series.
Mm.
See how he has his own particular face. Look at that. He even has the mole.
Mm-hmm.
And his beard is shaped different. His entire facial structure is completely different from every other character. You always have to see him drinking, because in that series alone, he's always depicted as, living among the homeless.
Yeah.
See? So front, side, behind. This is basic art. This is art school 101.
But if you're drawing this from page to page, frame to frame, how hard is it to replicate the face and the beard and stuff every single time with
As,
max consistency?
as long as you have a turnaround like this, you're good.
Are you just
I'll show you
tracing
what.
over it or what?
No, not tracing it. Just a reference. You just treat it as a reference. I'll
Um,
show you one with different facial expressions for each character. Hold on. I'll have to keep looking.
Well, see that's one reason why I did like the AI thing. Like that's not going to be the art that's used in the final product, but it gives me something to visualize what I want to put down when I start drawing. Who's scratching off a lottery ticket?
me.
We hope you win.
Can we split it if you win?
Well, it was actually the Pentium sticker on my laptop. It's not a lottery ticket.
There's even a reference sheet where characters have where a character is drawn with different facial expressions. For some reason, I can't find them.
I just put a link in the chat. If you
All
pull
right,
that
let's
up.
have a look.
But no, like I know,
It's
like even with video games, they do this, with the concept art for video games and stuff.
Oh yeah, this is good enough. Okay, I mean,
yeah,
it's
and
not detailed the way we want it, but sure,
right.
I'll
But look at the
let me share
name.
it
The name
first.
is the same as Jesker's World.
Hold on.
Mallow.
Who's still on my
Share
shit
it.
now?
The Pokemon Company
No,
Incorporated.
it is spelled differently, sir.
Yeah, it's cuter, but
In anime, obviously, they have a huge advantage because their faces are kind of basic. But see,
Yeah.
Each facial expression. And in animation, they actually draw people, say, pronouncing letters like this is his face when he says O,
Oh
A,
wow.
S, B, D, like that. Yeah. They have to
God,
make sure all of that is
so
on
detailed.
point. It's all detailed. I bet you, I'm not sure about comic books, but I bet you some of the comic book artists do the same thing. But don't take my word on that. I would do it, but I don't know
Mm.
if people do it. But I wouldn't be surprised if people do it.
Okay.
So here again, but these are rough sketches, but that's fine. Facial expressions. I have to find more detailed ones though. Just give me time. For some reason, Google isn't showing me anything.
But no, like this is like basic art school 101 because I remember like Tetsuya Nomura and stuff, like he has stuff like this for a lot of the characters in Kingdom Hearts. And I mean, again, that's a video game, but he starts out designing the characters, on paper. And I don't know, like you have to have stuff like this as references. It just makes it makes the process a lot easier. Or, you can just wing it like Eric did, and that's even easier. But
Well, I wish Tetsuo put as much focus on a coherent story as he did with coherent character designs.
if you've got another couple of hours, we can go over the Kingdom Hearts story.
It's a
long ago in the age of fairy tales.
Oh no!
2 hours later,
our good friend Michael showed me a wonderful example. I'll use this one.
2 hours later, and that's how Sora ended up in an alternate version of Final Fantasy 15. The end.
There you go. This.
Hey, Donald.
Facial
Speaking
expressions.
of Kingdom Hearts.
Now imagine if it's not Donald Duck and it's a normal person. That's what they would do.
Yeah.
And again, for each letter, what letter a person pronounces.
Wow.
So this is scared. This is him probably hungry. Drunk.
Where's Horny?
Wait, what
Where's
Disney
Horny
is
at?
this? What Disney has drunk Donald?
They did have drunk Dumbo though.
This
I remember Dumbo being
this might
drunk.
be-
Remember that?
This might be Brazilian Disney.
Yo, old school Disney was wild.
Well, I mean,
They really should go back to 2D animation. What a missed opportunity.
but the thing is, you got to give Cliff Richards the benefit of the doubt. He clearly did this, and he just said, "Eric, what do you want to convey? What does Isom need to convey in this book? Disrespect. Anything else? Just disrespect. Are you sure? Disrespect." Okay,
Yeah, that's true. There's nothing for him to work with. Exactly. There's no
Does he need to be
motivation
happy?
for an
And then
artist
Cliff-
to give it his
And
all.
Cliff Richards was like, "Yeah, I'll give you disrespect. I'll show you disrespect."
But that's all he needs to be conveying is he's been disrespected, and that's it. No emotions, just disrespected. He's like, okay, I'm going to disrespect your wallet and phone this into a bunch of Brazilians and take $15,000 from you. Okay.
That's later how Eric responded. Oh, okay. Sure.
Honestly, even Chuck Dixon sort of disrespected the Rippaverse. There are almost no references to Isom at all in Alpha Core.
I don't think there was any.
Yeah, which is very strange.
I don't think he was allowed to touch any ISOM characters, except the Alpha Core themselves and Michael and what's her name, Lillian.
What part of the ethic is that?
No, it was his own playhouse. That's all. Like,
Yeah.
you can
Don't
get
touch
away
my
with
toys.
saying Alpha Core is its own universe. You could actually get away with saying that.
Yeah. True.
Okay, I found one for none other than Harley Quinn from the Batman animated series. That's all.
Arlene Quinzel. Mr. J, don't you want to rev up your Harley?
Let's see if we can get you casted in the new
There
game.
we go. Yeah. But I can't find one with the pronunciations what I'm talking about. But anyway, for now we'll just deal with facial expressions. And keep in mind, a lot of like if you see Bruce Timm's characters, even though the art style is like consistent, everybody kind of almost looks the same.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody has a different shape of the head. Harley, for example, is more round than everybody else. If you see Poison Ivy, her face is a lot sharper.
Oh, okay.
So this is her when she's pissed. Look at that. They even drew the eyebrows and everything.
So
Don't
to put
This is her
together a
scheming.
Don't be
30-minute
coming around
cartoon.
here, B-Man, or I'm going to bust your bat balls.
But to put together like a 30-minute cartoon of like Batman the Animated Series or something, how long does that take to do?
Oh,
Especially back in the
nightmare.
day before like computers and all that shit that you could use to pump it out.
And they got broke doing that. That's the crazy part.
Wait,
have
Just
so much
simple
wait.
animation.
You can
respect
go
for these
broke.
old school
You can go
animators.
broke without going woke first.
Yes. Yes. Surprise, surprise.
The
I don't
internet
believe
has
it.
lied to me.
There, this is the surprise face you should be making.
It's smaller than I thought, Mr. J.
This, I wish this stream would get more views. One of these days, maybe it will catch up. This is some good content we're bringing.
Listen, I'm telling you right now. Look, my streams, my videos are weird. Like they don't pick up views instantly, but like give it a couple of days. Like all the Eric July stuff, it was slow, and then a couple of days later, 2,000 views, and it's like, okay, what the fuck? But no, we'll get there. 2024, I think we get to monetize.
This is my favorite panel to be on. For one, we got to make a really drawn out backstory for the Soska babies. That couldn't happen anywhere else. It's beautiful.
See,
You got to
even
come up
in
with your own
the
epic.
Oh, is
even
this a
in the
chapter
Spawn
8
animated
character?
series. No, this is from Spawn again, HBO. Even random jobbers and pedestrians have their own character. They're designed completely in detail. Look, you can tell.
How did he get his
What this
hand on
guy
a
is all
Steam
about.
Deck way back then?
Oh, it's
I
like
wonder
that,
what he's holding.
it's
A
like that
Sega Game
picture
Gear.
where
Or
it
is it
looks
the
like
Game
somebody
Gear?
back in the 1800s has a cell phone. He's a time traveler.
No, that's a Sega Game Gear.
Yeah, it's probably a Game Gear.
Oh,
This is
okay.
probably a gamer.
Sega.
But his pocket should
The-
be weighed down with extra batteries.
No, that's just
And look,
how
he
it
has
was.
the what do you
They're
call it?
Jinkos.
Your
What do you
hands.
call that pouch again? The one the people
A
used
fanny
to wear
pack.
in the
Fanny pack?
90s. Yes, a fanny pack. He's also wearing that. See, this is pure 90s.
As someone who grew up in the 90s, I can confirm this is pure 90s.
I mean,
He looks like he came
he's
out
got
of Limp
swagger. You
Bizkit.
can't deny that. I mean, he's got a nice watch.
See,
Nobody can tell him anything.
they haven't decided on the face, obviously, so this was previously his face. And then they went with this one.
Hmm.
Either that or they went... Because here, look, his nose. I don't know if his nose is actually this size right now.
This is the guy from Malibu's Most Wanted.
I don't know if they shrunk his nose or it's a problem with the shadowing. I think they shrunk his nose. This is him under more shadows. Again, every single detail, every single bit of minutia, people have to be paying attention to this. Otherwise, you'll be called out. I know this has nothing to do with Spawn, but even a random fan artist came up with a good character sheet. Hold on. This is like just before we go, so that I get my point across. This is what people have to draw before drawing anything after.
Is
See
this
that?
the
The
guy
details
that
of
he
his
got
face.
sued over? No, this is a good guy. I was thinking of the bad guy. Okay.
Oh, you're talking about Cogliostro and Angela. That was a guy who used to work with McFarlane, and they separated.
Hmm.
And they had a long spat over that. We'll be here all night if we talk about it, so we'll just wrap it up. So imagine I saw him. You have a character sheet just like this, and then his face, doing just to show the differences between his face and everybody else. You're good to go. You just need to draw this, keep it with you forever.
Yeah.
While you're drawing, give it to everybody, and they're good to go. That's the only way. Otherwise, you'll see his
Hand
face
it out
keeping on
to every
changing.
Brazilian is what you're saying.
To every Brazilian. Therein lies the problem, by the way. Yes, imagine
Yeah.
the Brazilian art house studio. Hundreds of people, you have to give this to them.
They didn't all get the reference seats. They were copying from 3 desks away. It's like, okay. I think I'll remember that.
So this is Sam Burke, the detective from Spawn. All right, this is where we call it a night.